Hello and welcome to the Ventura Rock Spot. I'm Jeff Donovan and I'll be your host. The Ventura Rock Spot is a monthly program featuring original musicians from or traveling through Ventura, California. You can check out the website at VenturaRockSpot.com where you can view past episodes or learn about how to become a featured artist yourself. And if you're wondering what's happening with the music around Ventura, be sure to check out VenturaRocks.com for all the latest info. So on this episode, we have with us Dylan Bram, Evan Bram, and Owen North from the band Looking West. Thanks for being with us today, guys.
Hello.
How you all doing?
Good.
All right. So let's just jump right into this. So you're one of the youngest bands that's gigging on the Ventura music scene right now. For those of our viewers who aren't familiar with you guys, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you've gotten started, and where the journey's taken you so far?
Well, we're just these young guys from Ventura, just all like in the same neighborhood, and we started out right during the Thomas fire. So 2017 was when we really started playing together. And since then, we've just grown as musicians and as friends. And now we're on that touring circuit, the gigging and touring circuit.
Right. I mean, when we started in 2017, we were all like middle school, going into middle school. We were that young. We were just jamming, having fun. Like we only started playing because our parents, like we were all in the preschool together, and our parents kind of just set it up because Owen started playing and Dylan played guitar. And so we got in the studio, I tried hopping on drums, and we just kind of played. And then over the years, I progressed, and then we kind of stopped from COVID, and from COVID, we kind of used that time and really took it seriously. And yeah, it just kind of worked.
Great. All right, so we're going to jump right into it and take a look at one of your videos so that our viewers can become familiar with you guys. This one is called Acting Sideways, and let's play it right now, and we'll get some detail about it after the video.
Okay.
All right, here we go. So I really like that tune. It's got a very funky type of groove to it and kind of seems to blend a lot of different rock styles. How would you describe your music to a complete stranger who wasn't familiar with your music?
I don't even know where to start with this one.
I mean,
it's there's not like a specific genre of music we play. I mean, if I was gonna say that, I would say it's rock. I mean, I'm sure you guys would agree with that, but
yeah.
it's just all of our, our inspirations. Like, I know for me, it's like The Police and Neil Young, and you guys have your other stuff.
I mean, we all love rock. That's that's obviously the center. We got Zeppelin, Pink Floyd. That's kind of the pinnacle. But then we all have our own little variations. Like myself, I like reggae. I have my own little style of drumming that I kind of add to it. Dylan's got the Neil. He's got a whole different aspect. Owen comes from that same rock stuff. I don't know if you like Beatles or what.
Yeah, Beatles, Paul McCartney.
That's his jam, and it kind of all blends together. And some funky new age rock.
Yeah.
That just works. Yeah. I don't know.
All right. Well, I think that comes across that you guys definitely each have your own unique style, and I think that helps to the blending of the music really well. Who does the writing for your original material? Is it a collaborative process between all of you guys, or is there one primary songwriter?
I do most of the songwriting, but what we normally do is if there's a song that I bring in, it'll change quite a bit by the time the band gets to it.
Right.
I mean, these guys, I would say they write just as much as I do because they're writing out their parts and they're making it their own, and we're all bringing it together. So I would say we're all primary songwriters in the band.
Do you have a specific process on how you write a song? Do you start with the lyrics, or you start with the music, or just whichever comes first? Just, I got a tune in my head, but I got no lyrics, or I got a lyrics with no tune yet.
Yeah, basically exactly like that. Normally I'll just hear something in my head, I'll hear it like a radio almost in my head. And then I'll just kind of follow that idea, whether it's lyrics or the chords or both. And then I bring it to the guys, and then we make it a thing, make it a song.
Exactly. Dylan kind of does a lot. He has a lot of the framework. Like he starts it. He does all the stuff at home, gets an acoustic like demo going and stuff, and then brings it here, and we all add our parts to it. I mean, I drum, I add my parts, and then like sometimes if he hears something and it sounds perfect in his head, he'll tell me what to do, and I gotta just accept it and go and let him do what he's gonna do, because he's got what he's got the idea. But sometimes, most of the time, I get to do what I want and add my style. Owen does the same thing, and then I guess that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got another video for our viewers. This one is called I See a Man. This was also filmed at Topa Topa Brewing in Ventura.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at this one.
Okay, awesome.
See you later, don't fool everything. The fine's in the bin. Trying to throw the weeds on hand. The same feeling I feel, man. I lay some trash off the street. No business clothes off me. A real man's a mustard thing. It's a pretty little one. I feel, man.
All right. Well, that was really, really great. Tell us a little bit of detail about that song. How'd that come about?
So I want to tell this story, which is that song, the man in the song is based on Evan, the drummer right here, my brother. And it was crazy. We were walking at night and I saw him. He was very deep into meditation at this time. And he was just trying to find himself and exploring, you know, his personality. And this was during COVID. So it was a good time to do that. And he was doing these things that I'd never seen him do before, like, you know, picking trash up off the street. And I just thought like stuff like that was just so peculiar, but I just had to write it down and then wrote it when we got home. So that was a really cool thing about that song.
Nice. All right. So you actually touched on this a little bit earlier, but I hear a lot of influence in your music from past generations. So from looking at your videos and your material, I know that you do a fair amount of covers, including a lot of songs that I grew up with.
Yeah.
For instance, Good Times, Bad Times by Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually one of the songs that influenced me to start playing guitar some 40 odd years ago.
Yeah.
So how did you guys gravitate towards that kind of style of music? Is this something you grew up with in your household or just something that just came about?
I was definitely in the household. Yeah. Our parents just kept pumping rock music for us.
Legit.
And, you know, in all our old home videos, you can hear rock music playing in the background. So yeah, they got it ingrained in us for sure.
All right. And how's the younger audiences reacting to that music? I mean, I'm sure a lot of them aren't even aware of the roots that inspired it.
Yeah, that's true. But we actually found a lot of success with the younger generations loving the rock music. I mean, even if they don't know the artists themselves, you can see, you know, the feeling of rock music. You can see the response, and it's the emotion that we can see in them as well. So that's what it does for us as well. So it's the same thing for us. Yeah.
And how about the older crowd? Are you guys getting a lot of like guys my age coming in and
They
Yes.
dig it for sure. I think like the older stuff's coming back a bit. I mean, realistically, and like nowadays, even with like the amount of technology and like how far every part of the world is like so accessible. I mean, generally you can play any music and somebody's gonna like it, no matter what age or like, you know, everything's, and this older music is all coming back. So like kids dig it, and then the older folks are just loving it. Like you'll get on the dance floor and you're just like, yeah.
Does any of the younger generation mistake one of the covers that you do as your own material because of the fact that they've never heard it before?
We don't get specifically the younger generation doing that, but a lot of people will be like, they might not have heard that we introduced a song as an original, or they were doing something and they were like, wow, wait, we can't even tell, you know, and we take that as a huge compliment that people think we're that good.
Well,
So
I think you guys are covering the material that you're covering along with your original music, but the cover specifically, I was very impressed with. I mean, you're really hitting the nail on the head. You know, I listened to some of the Tom Petty stuff that you do, some of the Pink Floyd stuff you do, the Zeppelin stuff. It was all great. I really enjoyed it. So it's good work on all your parts. Okay, another subject that we briefly touched on earlier is, when did you guys actually start gigging? So I know that you were about to start when the pandemic came around, which basically shut everything down for over a year. Was your first gig before the lockdown or after everything opened back up?
our first gig was actually in 2019, I think. Early 2019, we were playing just some house parties a lot, but after COVID was when we really started gigging and playing these paid shows for people that actually want to come and see them, which is really cool.
Right.
You didn't have the pirate ship though.
Yeah, that's true.
Were you guys hanging out together during the lockdown, or were you doing stuff remotely?
There was we never really did stuff remotely, but there were a couple months where we didn't even see too many of each other. You know, there were a couple off, encounters, but we really took a whole hiatus from all of that. But it was just so great to be back and to be with the guys again, because these are my brothers right here. So that's really cool.
Mhm.
I understand. Okay. So as a younger band, what's been your biggest hurdle as a newer band that's just come onto the scene?
I mean, it's a lot of work. I mean, us as kids, it's a lot of work, but the work is definitely worth it, I'd say.
Of course,
and
yeah.
Even just dealing with anxieties of playing, because we really just started performing a lot, late spring into summer.
Yeah, last couple of months.
And so it kind of just went in a flurry, and it all started happening really quickly. And so I was having my own troubles with, if I have a bad performance, you get all in your head about it, but the more and more you work, the easier it gets, because you're like, oh, this is going to happen. Everything's going to happen live. You're going to have a bad one. You're going to have a good one. You're going to have this one mistake in an awesome set. You're going to have this, it's just all going to happen. So
You're going to have that one mistake that nobody else notices except you.
Right.
Exactly.
You just got to take it with a grain of salt and keep going and really just have fun with it. Realistically, just have fun with it. Because that's what it's all about.
I think that's really the most important thing. So good for you guys. So, all right. We've got another video for our viewers. This one is called Losing You. And this one was filmed at Surf Rodeo this year in Ventura.
Yeah.
There we go.
You guys have a good time at Surf Rodeo?
We had a blast. It was
So
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
Those are they're such cool people. It's
Oh,
such an awesome scene.
Yeah,
Everybody's
on the shirt right here.
We're
but
repping for
really
sure.
cool guys. Yeah.
All right. So, okay, well, let's take a look. Again, this one is called Losing You. And here we go.
Woo.
I'm not finished with you yet. This is the closest that I will get. With a put a hole in me. Used to think that you see. Torture myself every day to see if I feel any way. See the pain in my eyes. I just know if you're like. Every time I walk past your street, I'm suddenly feeling complete. My best train, my thoughts. If I look, will I get caught? Just wish you'd talk to me. Do the things that set me free. Don't need to be my friend. I just want a happy end. Losing you. Uh-oh. Love doesn't care for you. Life doesn't let you choose. So what you do? You might not think it's a big deal, but to me it's unreal. Must have moved on with your life, let me alone with my knife. Last time I seen your face, felt like I was in the wrong
tell us a little bit more about the experience of playing surf rodeo. How was that?
Surreal for us. Just the size of the stage and the whole atmosphere of even just playing at a place like we've all just been around since we were kids, like the pier. It's just such a cool experience.
Right.
Just looking out and seeing people on top of Made West up there and just seeing them look down at us. It was just really trippy.
Is that the biggest stage that you guys have played on so far?
Definitely,
Yeah. By far.
We had the Jumbotrons, which was really cool too, to just see us up there. I'm like, oh my God, just don't look at the camera guy. Just focus on what you're doing.
Exactly. Like I started playing I See a Man because that was our first song, and all of a sudden, boom, the camera guy's in my face. I'm like, I didn't know he was gonna be there, but
Yeah.
It was something. It was
really
scary, but it was like the highlight of our summer.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. So I understand that you guys have been in the studio recording.
Yeah.
What can we expect in the near future from the band? How are you planning on releasing your work?
We have a couple of singles that are almost ready to release. We've been just trying to get them as good as we can for the last couple months, but it's been hard with the whole gigging schedule. But we're hoping to just release them on all platforms like Spotify and, Amazon Music, Apple Music. Just try to get them out there for.
Are you gonna try to release them one single at a time, or are you gonna wait and do a whole EP and or?
I think we're gonna do a couple singles and then we will do an EP and release that as its whole thing. But those will be part of that. Yeah.
So who have you guys been working with? Have you been working with other people? I think Jody Farrell is somebody. I think that's her name.
Yeah, Jody's my singing teacher, but she's been a great friend of the band and
She's the
helped us out a lot with getting us some shows and helping us with connections. So we're very grateful for her.
All right. Anybody else that you're working with specifically?
I'm working with my guitar teacher of I think like something like 7 or 8 years. His name's Jake Vossler. He's an amazing guitarist. I think he's got like a master's degree in music.
Yeah.
But he's just a great guy, and he's been also a great friend of the band and helping us out. Great advice, like a mentor.
A lot of people down at Moose Lodge in Ojai, they've helped us out a ton. They gave us some of our first gigs, and they're such a cool crowd. And that's all like with the same people as Surf Rodeo. You got JD and Sean.
Sean from
Ray
From
Fresco.
Ray Fresco. Yes.
And then Still Joy too. They out of Santa Barbara. We did one of our first shows with them, and they just let us open for them, and it was a blast.
Yeah, for real.
All right. And is your plan to continue on with this band until you hook a record deal or get a tour or?
I mean, we got nothing better to do.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, hopefully we can keep it going as long as we can. Yeah.
It's so fun. So we're just gonna do what we're doing.
Yeah, and we're great friends too. So these guys are my best friends right here. So it's not one of those bands where it's just for the music, even though that is fine for some people. For us, it gives us another incentive to keep playing together because we just love hanging out and being around each other.
Mhm.
What do you guys do on your spare time when you're not doing music? I know you like to hang out at the beach a lot. Are you guys surfers?
Yeah,
I surf a lot. Evan does too, and we enjoy going to the beach a lot. We go to Emma Wood.
that's our home.
Uh-huh.
Our home away from home.
Our home
Emma
spot,
Wood.
Emma Wood, here in town. Yeah, and then for me, I like art a lot too. So I like to do art and I like to run and go to the beach with those guys too. Yeah.
Oh, great. All right. Well, where can our viewers find you guys online, social media, etc.?
Okay, you guys can find us. You can find us on our Instagram and our website, which are both lookingwest.band. So you can follow our Instagram there and go to our website. And you can also find us on Facebook at Looking West Band, all one word.
All right. Terrific. So, all right. Well, that's about all the time we have for this episode. Any final comments that you guys would like to add to it?
Just keep watching, keep listening. We'll be here.
Yep. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, so Dylan, Evan, Owen, it's been a pleasure having you guys on. Thanks so much for participating in the interview and sharing your music with everybody. We're going to leave our viewers with one final video at the end of the segment, and this one is titled "Your Mind," and this is in Fiesta in Santa Barbara this year, correct?
Yeah, that was our last show.
Yeah.
Okay, terrific. We're going to leave the viewers with this one. Guys, have a great day. Thank you so much for being with us, and we'll see you out there.
Of course.
You too.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.
Boy, it feels you, you don't look sick. No one can heal you.